What used to be considered acceptable communication is no longer considered effective communication. Now, some people may say that this is because there are a lot more sensitive and emotional people in the world today, and some people may say that there is something else at play. For me, I think it's the latter, and that is what I want to talk about today. So stay tuned and let's talk about it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I grew up in an era in which young boys and young men, as we grew up, we were told, boy, suck it up and deal with it. Now, that statement applied to so many different things. It applied to when we played sports. We could have been an athlete out there doing our thing on the field, and all of a sudden we get an injury to our leg or something. Let's say our leg get broken, and we have those coaches that may be on the sideline, and we have maybe that father that may be in the stands, and we can just hear in our minds just ringing out, boy, suck it up. I don't care if you're bleeding. Go back out there. We need you on this play. You can do it. Suck it up. Don't worry about the pain. Just get it done. And that was a mindset that many of us had growing up from my era. It could have been a simple situation to where somebody may have said something that actually offended us. And we were told as young men, as boys growing up, man, suck it up. Put your feelings away. Go in there, do what you got to do, and keep moving forward. But in that era, we did a lot as just as what we were told. When it came to authority figures and they told us to do something, we did it, and we tried to do it for the most part to the best of our ability. But in doing so, it was a mindset that was involved with that just said, you know what, I'll just get it done. I'll just suck it up and just keep moving forward. And that's primarily because we were trained that way. But things have changed, and now we are living in a different world. Now we live in a world in which our communication has been the source of less action and more provocation. Our communication has gone from giving us great insights and direction to where now our communication is actually inciting inaction and inappropriate reactions. Why? I really believe it's because of our understanding and how our understanding has evolved and changed, but we have not changed the way we communicate. If we are going to be effective in this world that we live in, we actually must become more effective in our communications. We must change the way we communicate. There's an old saying that goes, when you know better, you do better. And I really believe this applies to communications as well. Over the years, we've had many studies done on understanding human behavior and personalities, and pretty much all of them are in lockstep when it comes to the thought that there is primarily four personality types. And these different personality types are called different things under different human behavior models, but essentially there are four. And part of what has been discovered in this research is that the most effective way to communicate with individuals is actually according to their human behavior and their personalities. As such, we always have to consider the wants and the needs of individuals according to their personality types, because that is how you create effective communication. We have to understand that the wants of a personality type equals the motivation. What motivates somebody to take action? And then we have to also understand that the needs is of a personality type is what actually creates the sustaining momentum for an action. So when we understand the wants and needs of individuals according to their personality types, we're able to effectively communicate in a way that brings about mutually beneficial outcomes for everyone. And I say mutually beneficial outcomes for everyone because whenever you are in a relationship, and that relationship could be a business relationship, it can be an employment relationship, it could be a marriage relationship, but whatever the relationship type is, there has to be communication, and there's going to be a purpose and a mission for that particular relationship. So if you are in business or it's an employment situation, you want to make sure that you're saying things that fits the wants or the motivations of an individual's personality, as well as the needs of an individual, which is what it takes to sustain their actions, so that you can get that person to a place of doing what is necessary to fulfill the mission and the purpose of the organization. That is very key, not just in business or employment situations, but that's also very key when it comes to marriage, relationships with significant others as well. Because when you understand the wants and needs of an individual from a personality perspective in that relationship, in that significant other relationship, you're able to motivate them to foster that bond in that relationship, to take sustaining actions. On the other side of that, if you don't motivate an individual or if you don't take actions to communicate in a way that creates sustainable actions, then two individuals will draw apart. And that is, I think, a large reason for individuals breaking up in relationships, breaking up in marriages, ending in divorce. There's so many things that involve, but whether it is dealing with business or whether it's dealing with marital relationships or relationships with significant others, or even when you look at athletics or when you look at ministry or any other activity where you have multiple people involved, it is so important for individuals to learn how to communicate according to the needs and the wants of individuals from a personality perspective. When you're able to do this, it actually changes the dynamics of everything and it makes communication more effective. And as a result of that, we actually get to fulfill and accomplish the mission and purpose that we've come in lockstep, that we've engaged with other people to do, whether that's in business or whether it's in relationships, whether it's winning championships from an athletic perspective, whatever the case may be. We have to learn how to more effectively communicate with each other. When you learn how to communicate with individuals according to their personalities, you actually learn a very, very valuable skill. And that skill I like to call disarming people. And when I say disarming someone, it's just the ability to make someone feel at ease. And we all know that when you feel at ease, you actually perform at a higher level. And it is really the job of a leader. It's the job of that leader in any situation, whether you're leading a organization or if you're leading a team, if you're leading your family and marriage, if you're leading a ministry, if you're leading an athletic team. It's all about making your team members or that person who you are in unity with, it's about making them feel at ease so that you can move together comfortably and fulfill the mission and purpose. Now, this goes back to what I like to call a lifestyle of leadership. This is part of your on the journey training, in which, as you go through these different things in life, you're learning to communicate because leadership is all about self-development. That's the first part, self-development, self-governing. And as you learn how to communicate, as you become a more effective communicator, you become a stronger leader. And as a result, you learn that skill to be able to disarm people when they are bringing pretensions, preconceived notions to the table. It allows them to relax. You relax them in how you say things and how you communicate with individuals. And when you are able to do that, then it sets a tone, it sets the table for an individual to be able to perform at a higher level. So learning this skill is very integral to a lifestyle of leadership. And it's something that every leader should aspire to learn. In closing, I want to share with you a belief that I've had for a very long time. And it is simply I can only control the things that I control. I cannot control the things that other individuals do. And that translates into communication as well. As we communicate with individuals, we have to focus on not provoking individuals into inaction as well as inappropriate reactions. If we can just simply take a moment of time and reframe how we say things, how we communicate, how we do things into a way that is more receivable by an individual, then we all get mutually beneficial outcomes. And it is so worth it to take that pause to gain a mutually beneficial outcome. So as we continue learning, as we continue growing, as we continue developing, as we continue learning our lifestyle of leadership, it is so important that we develop great communication skills. And if I could be of any service in this area, please feel free to reach out to me on my website at www.mindsetintegrationspecialist.com. And until next time, be blessed.